As many of you will know, my Homeopathy Hangout membership is now open and doors close indefinitely on 30 November Australian Western Standard Time. So if you're in the US, that might be the 29th for you. Since the doors opened on 25 November, we have had daily Zoom webinars in different time zones so that all our friends in America, UK, Australia, and everywhere in between can come and join us live. The membership has two parts. The main part is the closed Facebook group where I offer free acute advice and mentoring. Our live Zooms get live streamed into the Facebook group and get saved in there, with another copy being saved in the membership area of the Homeopathy Hangout website. As a member, when you log into the Homeopathy Hangout website, you'll be able to rewatch all of our past Zoom webinars, as well as rewatching it in the Facebook group. And you'll have access to our AI bot that can answer all your acute questions. And we'll be saving transcripts of all of our webinars in there as well to make it really easy for you to access the information. The website members area is also where you'll get exclusive access to certain remedies, which is normally prescription only. Now, if you're still undecided if this is right for you, I want to share a small snippet with you of one of our Zooms this week where we discussed remedies which we can use to counteract the effects of radiation in our environment. And if this doesn't convince you, on Friday, 29 November, the incredible Sarah Valentini will be doing a 2-hour exclusive webinar for our members covering ADHD, PANS, and PANDAS. And if we have time, we'll try and squeeze in some mold toxicity and MARCONs as well. With the membership, I'll be hosting live Zoom Q&As, and I'll bring in expert speakers from around the world on the topics that you request. We already have over 200 members in the Homeopathy Hangout membership. So when I say the doors close indefinitely on 30 November, I mean it. It's important for me to be able to hold space for our community. So at this rate, the doors may never open again. If you do miss out, you can still join our waitlist just in case things do change in a year or so and we decide to invite new members in. For more information, you can go to members.homeopathyhangout.com to either sign up or to join the waitlist. There is no www in front of that address. It is just members.homeopathyhangout.com. And if you have any questions, feel free to email us at members@homeopathyhangout.com. I hope to see you on the inside and enjoy this little snippet.
We've got a couple of questions here. What can we take remedies, potencies, or dosing schedule on an ongoing basis to be clearing all the onslaught of EMF, Wi-Fi, 5G radiation, and chemtrails? That is such a great question. So we have a remedy called polyradiation, and then recently we have just changed it to polyradiation plus because we've added a couple of things. We've added X-ray and the Australian bushflower essence fringe violet to it. Fringe violet, I saw one in the wild the other day, and it is absolutely beautiful. Fun book. It's this beautiful little purple flower. When I first saw the picture of it, I didn't realize how tiny it was until I saw it in person. It's literally like that size, the flower. It has this beautiful little frayed edges on the outside. And Ian White from the Australian Bushflower Essences describes how that is to do with protecting your aura. You'll have to kind of play around with this. We have a 30C, 200C, 1M, and a 10M potency in the polyradiation and the polyradiation plus. I usually get my clients to start off with a 30C, and I get them to take just 2 pillules a day for, say, a week or two. And then after that, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. For example, if you have a child whose school is next to a 5G tower, you might give it to them then. We also, I should also add this, the classic polyradiation remedy doesn't have 5G in it, but we have added 5G in it as well. So if you buy the polyradiation from us, it will have 5G in it too. And the polyradiation plus has got all that plus the 5G, plus the fringe violet, plus the X-ray. The reason we added the X-ray is that a few people, when they were traveling overseas and going through the airport scanners, because they use X-ray there, and the polyradiation doesn't have X-ray in it, we wanted to add that in so that you're covered for that as well. Let's quickly share screen with you for a second. You kind of have to play around with remedies, right? This is what the fringe violet looks like. Isn't it beautiful? So you can see these beautiful little frayed edges. So Ian White was saying that whenever you see like the color purple is to do with spirituality. So any of the bush flower essences or any plant that has the color purple is probably going to have an affinity with spirituality. So this is that beautiful fringe violet, and you can see, like if you see the flower, then it can kind of stick in your brain and you can go, okay, this is to help protect my aura. So you can actually even try just using fringe violet by itself. Some people really resonate with bush flower essences more so than homeopathics, and they find it a little bit gentler. So you can use just that. Ian's got a few really good books. I'll just finish off the conversation with a polyradiation. So you can, after you've done the 30C, if you find it's not helping anymore, then you go up to the 200C. And then you kind of work your way up through that. And then you can go to the 1M, and then you can go to the 10M. And you can use the 10M, say prophylactically, once a month ongoing. But this really is one of those things where if I can teach you just one thing in this group, is to tune into your own body and how you respond to remedies. Like I know that I'm not that sensitive to homeopathic remedies, so I can use a high potency quite frequently, and that works really well for me. I have had clients where I remember one particular one where I prescribed like a podium 200C, and it did great. And then I was like, let's try the 1M and just see how this child goes. And we did the 1M and it just didn't do anything. And she's like, he actually does better on the 200C. So we had to go back a potency for him. And you will actually find that sometimes you will just resonate with one potency more than another. If I've seen clients for quite a few years, or if they're really intuitive, I will ask them, what potency do you resonate with? What potency do you prefer that we start you off on? I will never say to them, this is what you're going to take and that's how you're going to take it. I always, like, it's that two-way relationship. So I always check with them. Do you have a potency that you resonate with, that you really enjoy using? And they'll say to me, and then we'll start from there. Somebody asked about the chemtrails as well. So with the chemtrails, this conversation happens in the professional homeopaths group quite often. Often the conversation comes in there of whether there's a remedy made from chemtrails. There's not at the moment, but we should probably create something like that, because there is lots of heavy metals like barium and strontium and aluminium and all those sorts of things. You could probably technically use the polymetals detox that we have, and which you have access to as part of the membership as well. But something that I often say to people, I haven't done it myself because we live rural, so we don't actually get any chemtrails out there. But even here at work, we don't really get any here in the hills. But I know I often see photos in our local Facebook group, and the mums will post. I mean, Angela, you've probably seen that as well. The mums will post photos in there, and there's just like, crisscrosses everywhere. We don't get it here as bad as in America, because I've seen photos of what it's like in America. It's nuts. But if it's a particularly bad day, do try and put a glass of water outside. I would leave it there for a couple of hours. I would imagine a still day would be better, because you kind of want that to kind of like distill down to the air into the glass of water. And then make a homeopathic remedy from that. And we did the video on how to do that just on our first day. And then just play around with that. So for those of you, I mean, that's the thing, you're going to be learning a lot. And all of you have learned lots from the podcast already. And you're going to be learning lots in this group. You don't have to do everything. Just do what resonates with you. So if you are somebody that likes to, if you're hands-on and you like to go make remedies yourself, and you want to go test this thing out of putting the glass outside, making a remedy from it, taking your snot, making a remedy from it, if that is you, then do that. Go for it. Like, work with that. But if you're somebody like, no, I'd rather just buy a remedy from a pharmacy, then do that. And as for how often you should take it, it's such a hard one to answer. But like I said, take it daily or try it in the water bottle. And I have some clients who are really sensitive and they love water dosing, especially if there's say their kids have tennis and it's next to a 5G tower or an electricity station. You might put 2 pills of the remedy in the water bottle and shake it and just drink it through the day. There's another remedy that I've been wanting to tell you about as well. Anyway, so I will fit that in now. It's the remedy Vernix. Have any of you heard of that before? So it's, the Vernix is like the coating on a baby when they're born. And there's a homeopathic remedy made from that. And it is one of my all-time favorites. I have never had an aggravation on it. And clients who are just sensitive to everything, they're sensitive to emotions, they're sensitive to energies, they're sensitive to chemicals, their mind's racing at 100 miles an hour. That's a really good one for them to use. I have a lot of clients who are psychic, who work as mediums, who work as like energy workers, kinesiologists, all sorts that work in people's energy all day long, and that can easily get drained because it's always that kind of fine line, with a gift, like having that level of sensitivity, having that gift. The flip side of that is that you can also very easily get drained. And Vernix is the number one remedy that I've found that these clients never ever want to be without. And I always start them on a 200C, and it's rarely that they go up. Like I think I've got one or two of them that's gone to a 1M, but 200C seems to hold really well. And people will take it before they go into crowds. They'll do it before they do energy work. They'll do it if their mind is just really busy. They'll take a dose. And this is like sometimes you will prescribe a remedy, and the homeopaths in here will find that as well. And a client comes back for a follow-up and they go, "Oh, I just love that remedy. I love that remedy. Please, can I take it again?" And whenever a client says that, I'm like, I'm not your boss. Like, if you resonate with a remedy, you take it how often you feel you need to. Like, that's your remedy. That's your friend. You can hang out with it as much as you want. We're going to be at some stage talking about this book as well, which I love. It's called Inspiring Homeopathy by Tina Smits. A little bit about Vernix. The essence of the remedy is a lack of protection, a vulnerability, a hypersensibility, insufficient protection against outside influences, a strong feeling of insecurity, easily disturbed by anything, feeling naked, without skin, vulnerable, experiencing the outer world as threatening. They can be hypersensitive to noise, to odors, to wind, to touch, to all kinds of signals. Their head is very full. They can't stop thinking. They're always worrying. They're not connected with their own needs and their feelings. They're not centered. They're too involved with the suffering of other people. Like, this reads a lot like, a lot of healers that many of us probably know. They have a feeling of not being protected sufficiently, unaware of their own boundaries. So this Vernix is such a good remedy for that you can you can probably use it for radiation as well. I haven't particularly used it for that, but I've used it for people who are sensitive to energies in general. So I say to my clients, it's kind of like your psychic coat of armor that you're putting on before you go out into the world.
I hope you have enjoyed this little snippet from our Zoom. And do remember that if you want to sign up, go to members.homeopathyhangout.com. See you on the inside.